Before you speak, Miss Balo Jinda, I don't want to say the name wrong. Every time she's putting a request in, I'm accepting it. It's not pulling up. I'm trying my hardest. I don't know if it's the Australian Wi-Fi. I don't know if it's the kangaroo Wi-Fi. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm trying to add Big Sis in here. It's giving Roger from Tekken 2. I don't know what's going on. It's giving that type of Wi-Fi. But I'm not
I don't see it
I'm
either.
not stop trying to add you, sis. So while I keep trying to add you on, I'm gonna let Miss Taco speak. Well, by the way, what is your name, by the way, beloved?
Oh, okay. I'm Mariah. I think if you might remember me, Miss Jones, I did speak to you a little bit the other day. Okay, perfect. So I do have a lot of respect for you, and I do want to say, so I'll speak a little bit on the Australian Indigenous issues, just because I'm from the U.S., so I'll just say a little bit. But so,
It
um,
works.
there you go.
Yes, it
I'm from
works.
a tribe in Washington, and so what I think is like a lot of us, because we do, why I think it like resonated with so many indigenous is because we've all experienced the
Ballo,
same thing.
Ballo, mute, baby, because I can't hear Miss Taco. If Ballo Jinda can hear me, can you mute real quick? Because it's loud in the back.
Sure,
I'll get
absolutely.
closer.
Thank you, baby.
Um, and I think because we've experienced the same things like globally, even though, and that's what we talk about, like indigenous erasure, because a lot of people that aren't native don't know about our issues. And I do get a little nervous on live, so bear with me.
Same.
um, and one thing I meant to mention the other day is like, I honestly did kind of worry about you too being with him because I didn't want him to hurt you. Master manipulators are good at what they do. And like why I think he knew what he was doing towards us, even though it is a difference, like you said, between the indigenous and the black community, like what white passing or presenting means. Because he had to have known our history, the boarding schools, CPS, getting, taking Native children and putting them into other homes, like stripping the culture, putting them into white homes, and they get taught to identify as white. And we're only like in the US, we're only 2% of the population, so like, my preference ain't white, but like if I want to have a baby and I want them to be indigenous, where I live, there's only 80%. There's 80% white people. I gotta go somewhere. Like I gotta go somewhere. Yeah, I know. I look white too. I know.
No. I said. Well, they told me to stop calling her Balojinda. They told me to call her Auntie. I was
Oh,
saying Auntie, beautiful. That's what I said. Auntie's beautiful. Go ahead, Miss Taco. My fault. I'm not shooting my shot. My girl's right here. I'm not shooting my shot. I just said she's beautiful. That's all. Go
no.
ahead, Miss Taco.
Um. So, okay. So I was saying, yeah, I know I'm presenting too, and like I said, there's only 2% Native population in the U.S. So if I want to have a kid, because of blood, which is why blood quantum is so important to us too. Well, not important, but why people made it a big deal. Because if I have a kid with a white person, like I said, there's 80% white people where I live. That's not a very, very big dating pool.
Yeah.
Like, and then if I have a white kid, my kid won't be. He'll look white. You know what I mean? Like I already am light skinned. They'll be light skinned, and that's what they meant to do. That's what they wanted to do. Get rid of our indigeneity. So that was the point, which is why to have known it would have had some impact, especially because it was from his platform. You know what I mean? Especially without the context. So I think that's why it resonated with us. And then with him, like, as he was protecting you as he should, and protecting Black women as he should, he also advocates for MMIW. He didn't have to do that at the expense of us Indigenous women because he was being disrespectful to Indigenous women. And especially, Pat holds it down for his Black woman. He does. Yeah.
Girl, period. I don't
Like
play.
in modern, if he, like Lance, if he wants to advocate for MMIW, he should do the same. You know what I'm saying? He should do the same for Indigenous women. And that's why so many, and like, I mean, there was some, and it was especially because he kept being disrespectful in the comments.
Continuing it,
So there were so many, like, he got defensive. If he would have listened and took accountability, it wouldn't have been as bad.
Yeah.
But he was being defensive. He was being rude.
Absolutely.
And it kind of negates everything that, like, you know, others said his platform was trying to be. And, you know, you shouldn't have to take the brunt of it. He should, like they said, though, he might not have to, he shouldn't be here, but he should.
Yeah, I think shouldn't and can't in this moment right now.
I'm not even gonna hold. It would have been really nice to see a tussle between me and the great modern warrior on live. It would have been nice. I'm not gonna hold you. Listen, I'm a messy bitch. Excuse my French. I'm a messy whore. I'm a messy slut. That would have been a sight to see. But you guys are right. And Miss Jones is right. I feel like that conversation should be had in private before it is made public, because a conversation between a black man and an indigenous man on that level, it needs to be had in public.
Yes.
That is where I agree with Miss Jones. You know, my messy side likes to come out. Y'all know about me, honey. I'm all about the messiness. I'm all about the tea.
And
y'all
it
know
would come up
how
again. Don't be mistaken. If you guys have a 15-minute, like you guys never had a conversation before, and you do an introduction just so that you hear each other's voices and see each other's face, you know you're still gonna tussle. Like there's something hot button is gonna happen.
To fight.
So
I can't help it. I like to slap box. I was slap boxing straight dudes
it's not
all my
gonna
life.
diminish.
I've been tussling with men bigger than me. Trust me, I know. Sis, I know. Trust me. Go ahead, my loves. Go ahead, Miss Auntie. Go ahead, because they told me to address you as Auntie. So respect, Miss Auntie. Go ahead, baby. The floor is yours. You can unmute, baby. Go ahead. Everyone else mute for Miss Auntie. That's the OG.
How do I mute?
Oh, she has to unmute. Oh, she has to hit
Yeah, I've done it.
There you go.
Ginigay Nai Ginigay Nai Debiga from Gumbengera. So I am a proud, and I know people will get, when they hear this, they will get triggered, and I have to explain it this way, that I'm a proud and black deadly Aboriginal from Australia, right? I'm from the Gumbaynggirr Nation, which is on the north coast of, mid-north coast of New South Wales. So I've come on here not to talk about MW, because that's not what I want to do, but I do want to educate. I want to educate Miss Jones on some of our history here in Australia, because I think it's really important to understand why those words that he said is very hurtful, and then some words and videos that you've put out is so harmful to our mob because of what's happened. And I thankfully was on this thing before to say that you're on your learning journey and you're wanting to learn more and understanding, because there is a video that I would love for you to take down because it is really disrespectful. So I want you to understand that here in our country, we are both black and indigenous. So people don't have an understanding of that, because what they actually did is they had a policy in this country to bleed the black out of us. That was their whole policy, to white assimilation. So we are trying to hang on. My father is black, like he is black. Like I know I look pale, like, and I understand that how that colonised brain can actually work. But like, we have had a history where they've continually had to do this. My father grew up. I don't know whether you've ever seen blackberry bushes. Sorry.
Miss, I want to.
I'm Balo Jinder. Balo Jinder is my name.
Because I was reading the comments, and I want to make sure that what Ebony said was spoken out loud. Anti-indigenous comments will not be goddamn tolerated in this live. This ain't the live from yesterday. I'm telling y'all that shit right now. My moderators don't play that shit. Anti-indigenous, anti-black comments will not be fucking tolerated. If you want to make a couple white jokes, that's okay. Continue, baby. Go ahead, Queen.
Yeah, so I really wanted to say that, like, when you say you want people the colour of Marion, we had Stolen Generation where they deliberately stole black babies. They stole them, or half-caste is what they say, which is a derogatory term that we use here. So they stole them and kept trying to breed the black out of us. So we have reclaimed the word black because of that particular situation. Both my grandmothers, like, the only reason why I'm a lighter skin is because my father had decided to, was with a white woman, you know. But ultimately, all the way back is we've got Indigenous and Black heritage. So I just really wanted to educate you on that and how harmful it is to our stolen generation who no longer know where they are connected to, who the Australian records have actually deleted, have burned, have destroyed records of where they will. So they will never, ever know where they belong anytime ever. And the other thing that they will do is that their children can never, ever find where they belong ever
Oh,
in their life.
I got you.
It's something like when we sit there and say comments like that, we are erasing everything that we're fighting for, that we've been fighting for in this country. And so if you look at some of our history and our laws, policemen deliberately put babies buried to their heads up in the sand and kicked their fucking heads off. And it was a game to them. We had slavery here. Now, if you really want to talk about Aboriginal people, let me tell you, before colonisation happened, whatever happened in America, they came and did the same thing here. They knew the plan. They knew what they wanted to do. I'm not raising my voice, please. I'm just getting very passionate. I just want to understand.
Oh, no. You ain't got to worry about that.
I never get like this, but it's very passionate with me. It's very passionate with me. Now, we've had our census come out recently, but let me tell you, when they first come here, they reckoned we were in the millions of thousands, right? Like millions, 2 million, 1 million, 2 million people from all over. We have got over 500, up to between 300 and 500 nations. We've lost all our languages. We're in reclamation of languages. But let me also tell you this fact that came out in the ABS census this year, is we have got only 980,000 people. Let that sink in. Out of millions of people, we only have 980,000 people. And we are sick and tired, and I'm so sorry, but I know that people support us, but we are so sick and tired of our voice not being heard in this. It is like, you cannot keep doing this. We're trying to raise our babies to be strong and fight and carry on what we need for the future, and we keep getting people telling us, no, don't worry about it. We keep getting people to tell us that. Like, we should be in the millions, and we're not. I personally have been affected by the system. I don't have kids, and this is my last chance, and if I get banned or whatever, I want to have my say. I don't have kids because they took that right away from me. So I personally can't have my history. I can't have my children to be ever raised in this. So my job on this app is to build positivity, to show our people in a way that should be made to say beautiful, because we don't care. This is just the surface. What is in here is what matters. And in the last few days, I have seen my people being hurt from people who just won't listen to us. I've actually personally asked for conversations. We personally had a live to discuss whether we wanted to publicly go out there and seek that video out and call that video out. And I said we can't do that because we don't want more trauma. We don't want more people being hurt. We don't want to invalidate their feelings. We don't want that. We want to educate. So when I was just hoping and I was praying, and I'm such a little account compared to you guys. I'm only little, but I love generally, and I want healing. But I need you to understand and listen to what's been happening. They cover up massacres. We're still getting plans of massacre sites. We don't even have a treaty. Listen to that. We're the one country in the world that doesn't have a treaty. The 4 governments of this world, New Zealand, Canada, America, and Australia, refused to sign up to the Indigenous rights of people, International Indigenous Rights of People. They refused to sign it. They refused to acknowledge our languages. And this, I'm sorry if this is coming through from passion, but I'm telling you, this is what we fight for. And we want to have a voice to sit there and say, believe us when we say we love people and we want to sit down and have a really calming conversation.
Miss Auntie, no apologizing. You are safe here. Indigenous women, women of color are safe here. Miss Jones is safe here. Fuck these motherfuckers in the comment section that got a problem with the fuck y'all talking about. My moderators are the best moderators on planet Earth, planet Mars, on Venus, the whole galaxy. Ain't nobody getting silenced in this motherfucker that is not fucking white. I said what I said. Talk your shit. No more apologizing, sis. Do what you gotta
Yeah.
do. Handle your business. Period.
So
Go ahead.
that's
Go
all I
off.
want to say. So I'm Auntie Deb, and I will be, and like I think everybody needs healing. And I also talk about the more that this stuff happens, is the more that we divide. The more that we divide, the more we actually breeding into the colonist way. The more we sitting here saying, I don't do my likes and views. I don't do for my followers. I do it for my mob. Like, and if I can sit there, I have no idea since he made his video. This is not about that, but I'm just saying, since that made that video, and I've said, you are black and deadly if you're Aboriginal, if you're Indigenous, if you're, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care. Like, if people treat me and get to know, like, I'm learning. I fuck up and make mistakes. I have been, and I'm sorry, but I have been taught that I word for Native Americans because we've had it on our cartoons. We've all been whitewashed all over the planet. I didn't even know. I'm decolonizing and I'm still learning, and we can all learn and grow. My thing is healing because I can
I'm
see
gonna
your
add
pain right now.
I got you. I'm gonna add itty bitty when one of the two indigenous queens are done speaking. Once they feel comfortable to drop out, I'm gonna add itty bitty. I got you. I'm sorry, Auntie, for interrupting, but they've been asking for itty bitty for a while. I want to make
Yeah.
sure your voices are heard. Everything you gotta say is out. While Miss Jones is here, Miss Jones is clearly not going nowhere. She want all the smoke. She want all the sauce. She want all the problems. She want that world star shit. You heard? So once
That's
everybody
fine.
done speaking, then I'm gonna add itty bitty. I got you. I got y'all. Go ahead, Queen. Go ahead, Auntie. I got you.
So all I'm saying is that ultimately, at the end of the day, we just want people to hear us because we have people in, like you say, that things like that happen in America don't affect us. Do you know how many American women use our instrument, our sacred instrument, as a didgeridoo, and nobody will help us get that or fight for us? Like, we're sitting there saying that's a men's only tool, and then we get told we're misogynistic because we believe in what our people were. We had balance in our life of men and women coming together, and that's what we do. Like, a partnership in anybody, to me, is where you can complement each other and work together for an end goal. Not dividing people and not willingly want to give harm to people. I've been in a place of harm. I've been in DV. I've been sexually assaulted. I've had all sorts of stuff happen to me. There's not much that hasn't happened to me. But I also know that those feelings that I had, the feelings that they were there, they're feelings that I don't want my mob ever to feel. I don't want anyone to ever feel like I've had, ever. And I just want people to believe in themselves. And I really don't care the color of your skin. And I want people to be educated and learn. Because, like, my mum, I learned some really good things from my mum. Like, I know she's a white woman, but she's had to stand up to her own family. I'm not saying that all white people, there are really still white supremacy and we are fighting against it. But there's also people there that we need to educate to help educate theirs so that they can stop coming for us. And like I said, it's really hard, and I'm actually quite nervous now. I've never had this many people to talk to.
Don't be nervous. It's okay. It's a safe space. You good. You good.
But I've always been silenced. I've never been black enough. I've never been white enough. I've never fitted in. And so at the end of the day, as a 52-year-old woman this year, is I sit there and I look and I go, you know what? I bought my own house. I've taken care of myself. No man has ever taken care of me. Nothing to do with anyone. But if a sugar daddy want to come along, that's fine. But I'm just sitting there saying, but I've taken care of my own business. No man has ever done it. No man has ever done that. But I want to sit there and say that during that time, though, in all the loneliness, it's given me something that I never thought would happen, which is the care. And the fact that I have now different groups of people that I can't put together because of my trauma, that I feel I can't have them in the same room because of my trauma, because of my non-belief in myself and in other things that have happened, and I don't want that for anyone. And that's why when we were talking, like, I'm so glad I came here today. And thank you, Patrick, for allowing me to come in and have a yarn and talk. And I'd love.
I ain't do shit. I'm drinking like 15 Coronas in a row. Y'all ain't realize that I've been drinking this whole time. Like,
I don't care, brother. Like, if I got reason to celebrate today myself. Like, I'm going to call you. Well, I'm actually going to call you my nephew, and I'm going to call you my niece. Like, I say, you've got to make your own mistakes.
Call me nephew, cuz. Okay.
Yeah. You're my
Okay.
nephew.
Oh,
You're my
we
nephew
got
and
Itty
my
Bitty
niece.
in the building. Okay, Itty Bitty, what's popping?
Okay,
Right
so
now.
and I appreciate that you're wanting to listen because that's all we want to do. But I'm going to sit there and say, my nephew, you
No,
still held
well,
space for this to
you know
happen,
what? If I'm
and
nephew, you auntie. That's it.
yeah, but I'm just saying I want to thank you for allowing me to be because there's so many people that sometimes you go in there, go, please let me speak, and nobody says anything. So I appreciate you coming and letting me in and speak. And you know, we all say support black businesses. Even in Australia, we say support black businesses. You know, like look at that deadly artwork. Look at Marion's deadly artwork behind. And our artwork says stories. Our stories go back in time. Let me just also sit there and tell you that even we get scientifically discredited about everything and anything. We get discredited, but we've got stories that are so beautiful and amazing. Like we've got stories where that beat these anthropologist, archaeologist stories that have
Yeah,
lasted over 60,000
yeah,
years. Now that's
yes.
powerful and that's strong.
Hell
See, now
yeah.
that is what I want for my mob to actually for them to believe, not to sit there. But unfortunately, our world is going to social media, and we do have to be care. We do have to care what is said. But I do appreciate you sitting here and listening to us and understanding why that video that I saw that, and I refused to let people know who it was. I played the voice and I said, I don't like this, but what do we do? Do we highlight this and send hate your way, or do we talk about this as a collective? And that's what we did. We talked about it. Me, Itty Bitty, a few others had talked about it. And as a collective, we said, what harm is that going to do to our stolen generation? What is that going to do? So we didn't want to come out when we're not like that. We didn't want to disrespect or not. It's not disrespecting you, but we just were thinking about it all on that platform. And that's what we've been trying to say to people, but we just seem to get silenced and just lost in the sauce, as you say. We get lost in it, seeping through the
Oh,
cracks
talk that
and
shit, auntie. I heard you. Lost in the what? Lost in the
lost in the
what? Go
sauce.
ahead, sis. Go
I
ahead,
lost in the
auntie.
sauce. Don't worry. I can outdrink you there with the Coronas with a little bit of lemon. Maybe
Period.
put a
You
little bit of
better do.
chili.
You better do the best
Hang on,
wing
I
every
want to get
single
an
wave in the
invite
world.
to this
You better be
cookout.
like,
I'm
report
telling
to the
you.
front. Australia,
Hey, we could do.
report to the front.
Yeah, we could talk about the food. That's a whole different other thing. Don't make me sit there and go snap, snap, snap. Because I tell you what, I will tell you. I will drink you under,
I'm
over,
hollering.
and in outside of the table. Is what I'm
Okay.
saying. So don't even
I'm
bring that.
Can I just interject real quick? I gotta say, Miss Jones, I'm so glad that you're in here. Just know that I do not have any hate towards you. I respect you. You being part of the biracial community, I will fight for you. I will fight with you. And I don't want people, please, I don't want people to harass this woman. This was never about her. I just simply wanted to know what Lance truly meant and how it would affect Indigenous people. And that's including the Indigenous Africans. Because at the end of the day, no matter what country we all come from, we're all Indigenous. And I will fight for every single one of you people. You are my mob, you are my family, you're my brothers and sisters. Doesn't matter what country you come from. To me, in my eyes, you are my family. And I will never ever forget that. You're all beautiful people. You're all Indigenous and valid. You're all strong and deadly. I'm sorry, I'm crying.
And the reason why Edie is really affected by this is she's concerned for her own children because she thinks her children are white passing and the hate shit they're going to get and what they're going to grow up.
My
And we've had this conversation many times.
Okay.
But they're not there.
And
I keep saying they're fair skinned. They're not white passing. So what they're going to get? And this is a reality of it.
My son and daughter are Aboriginal Irish, so they both come from two very strong, very rich cultures. Like every single country on this earth has such a rich culture, and it's important that we continue to keep teaching and learning about each other's culture. I'd love so much to learn about every single one's culture around the globe, and I fear for my children that they will eventually face discrimination, and I fear that they may face it by their own community here in Australia. And
I'm teaching them and raising them to be strong black and valid indigenous children.
Breathe, bub. Breathe. Have a breath, bub.
And I'm really glad that you got to come in here and I got to have a discussion. You know, I get to have a talk with you about it. And that video, I did not mean any respect whatsoever. I respect you. I respect Lance. And when I tried to jump in that live the other day, it not only hurt me, but it hurt my entire nation when we were shut out of an issue that involves us as well. Yeah, and I don't want to make you feel like you're being attacked or you two are being invalid on your own opinion. Just know that your opinion is valid as well as your identity.
Thank you.
I want to say two things real quick. One, I don't know why I'm crying, but y'all got me emotional as hell. Stop. I don't like that. I don't like to cry like a little punk on live. You know, the ops is white. First of all,
Yeah. I'm going to sit there. Hang on, no. I know it's your live, and I know you can tell me whatever, but I'm going to sit there and say, correct you, sorry, but it is okay as a man to cry. If you dare spread that rhetoric, don't even sit there and say that, because I will get all up in you. I'm telling you, I will make sure.
No, I don't want no sauce.
All right, I'm just saying you can't. Yeah, that's all right then. You're allowed to cry.
No sauce. Listen, my indigenous folk, ever since they became cool with me during the Womb Land saga, I don't want no sauce with no res aunties. I don't want no problems. I don't want those problems at all. I'm good. Second of all, Miss Cappuccino, thank you for the cash app, baby. I got it. I appreciate you for the cash app. But yeah, I don't want no problems with no res aunties. Hell no. Hell no. Listen,
in Australia, we say mission aunties. In Australia, we say mission.
I don't want no problem with y'all. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no problems. I'm good. I'm good over here. Go ahead, Miss Jones. Go ahead, baby. You can catch all that smoke you want. I don't want.
I'm just overwhelmed and grateful and embarrassed. So sorry. I'm so sorry. Please don't apologize. We all make mistakes. We're all human. And it's a bit of a fight or flight response, because the amount of assault that comes in on this app, it just makes you have your skin peeled back, and that you just think everybody is just out to get you. And it just was so out of line. And hearing you tell those stories, they they align with our stories. They fed our babies to crocodiles. And made comic
Jones, you see?
They made comic books.
That is the most genuine you've been this entire 4 hours. Now we know that it finally hit you what indigenous kings and queens have been trying to tell y'all last night.
And I wasn't listening. And I was.
And you know what? You know what? I'm not gonna sit here and disrespect Nugget or put her down in any way. She did the best she could with her platform. But this is how her platform should have went last night. You see what I'm saying? So instead of the ego tripping, instead of the back and forth, like you said, you're right. No, because you're right. I thought about my ego first yet again. And I hold myself accountable. As soon as I saw you in the box, I'm like, man, why the fuck is you in here? Let me holler at your mans real quick. Not just because I want the genuine smoke, but because I wanted the views too. And I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to lie because I'm a man. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I tell the truth. I keep it 1,000. That's me. This is what everyone was looking for.
And can I say too that?
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
I had the comments swiped off, and I put them back on. And Odin, what's the name? There's someone in here who duetted my video, and I was just so snarky. I was so so much ego, so much defensiveness. It didn't need to happen. I'm so sorry. And I know a lot of people are saying that Lance should be here. That's my partner, but I'm also an autonomous, independent woman. Please let me just be here because I want to be here, not because he's some puppeteer that's got some dumb impressionable woman. That's misogyny. And earlier people were calling me out badly for saying that that's misogyny, and it is. I'm a strong independent woman who's standing here on my own. Yes, me and my partner are attached to the same thing, but I came in here because I'm like, I need to apologize. I need to connect, and I didn't know you guys were going to be on here, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have
I'm really
all around the world. We have the same stories that have been used all around the world. To say that it's in one place, it's been everywhere. My father couldn't go to he was in jail. He was in jail and he couldn't go to a funeral because we had deaths in custody where they were just hanging our mob up in prisons, so he wouldn't go to that jail. He wouldn't go to Grafton jail just because of that. So that's just, and that's my dad. That's my next generation. It's not just years ago. That's my generation. So he was always scared. But I appreciate you listening, and I appreciate that you've said sorry, and I appreciate that you're willing to learn.
And anyone, some people it's late where I am, and there's going to be people who didn't know this happened, and it's not a one-off. I will apologize tomorrow. I will apologize next week. I will take all those videos down. Sometimes it's like, you videos down and dirty delete. And if you want me to take them down, I'm taking them down. Whether people want them to stay up for proof that I'm an asshole sometimes, I'm taking them down because the internet is forever, and I don't want anybody to look at that and use that as ammunition in the way that you guys have been describing. And I just don't want to perpetuate this anymore. It was an anger at TikTok as an application, and anybody who wasn't in alignment with me was my enemy rapidly. And that wasn't fair. And that's why we need to take breaks off this app, especially when something really big happens. And I'm going to after we.
Ms. Jones, now you know damn well I tried to do that, and then this hopped on my lap, and then it was like, you know what, Patrick,
planning to come on.
Girl, listen, I tried to take a break. Sorry. I've been trying to take a whole week, and I'm like, shit, you know what, Patrick, we need y'all to, do something about this real quick. I'm like, no, I want to eat my bunions. I want to eat my Funyuns. I want to eat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to chill. I'm trying to relax.
Yeah.
But then, you know what? You need to host this live. I'm like, shit. You know what? Fuck.
Someone in the comments made it I should duet myself. In that way, the video and it's me acknowledging my own video. Does that seem like a better? Because if something feels weird about just deleting it like it never happened. But I also want that to stay. I'm on the fence about what would be the best approach for restoration and fixing that.
For my mob, I would prefer that it was taken down because it can be very harmful and very triggering to our stolen generation. I would prefer that would be taken down. But I think it's important maybe to screenshot the comments and how you'd made a comment on it and said, like, this is what I had. We've had a discussion. And I think that I need more education, or I need to learn and experience and grow because we do get caught up in our own little world. I've been caught up in my Aboriginal world for so long, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit there and say, I don't know. And that's why I follow people and I learn and I try and have conversations, and I like to have, if anyone knows me, knows that I like to let people in, but I also I won't put up with certain stuff in my lives. Like you've just seen, I won't put up with someone saying I can't do that when I said you can.
I'm sorry. Let me interrupt you guys real quick. Moderators, if you guys accidentally muted my sis Ebony, can you unmute her? Because I'm looking in the admin settings and I don't see her page at all. I don't know why Ebony got muted, but if she got muted by anybody in this comment section that's a moderator of mine, please unmute her. She was not disrespectful to anybody. She tried to help. Please unmute her. And please don't mute anybody unless it's Blaze, Sobe, or anyone who makes videos in a basement with a green screen, Funko Pops, and wave their finger like this. Unless it's anybody like that. I know you guys in the box don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but the people in the comment section knows exactly who the hell I'm talking about. If it's not them, please don't mute them. Thank you kindly. I apologize, Queens. My fault. My bad. My fault.
No, that's all right. So I was just going to say that if you could do that, that would be wonderful. An apology to the mob that it was a harmful video and that you're willing to learn. I would appreciate that very much so. I also want to sit there and say to you that, like, I know that people have said, like, it's your choice in your life and what you do. You choose
Time
it.
out.
You need to learn your lessons, and then from those lessons you pick yourself up and you work out and you can grow from that. No child in this world has ever started walking without falling first. And we all have to sometimes fall first before getting ourselves back up and learning how to do it all over again. Because if we don't fall, we never walk. And therefore we don't grow. So that's all not from me saying that, but I appreciate you having the time to talk with us. And I'm so glad we're in such a calm space to be able to talk about this without having because we do. And I'm sorry, I did get passionate earlier because I do every now and then get passionate about it because I'm so sick and tired. I'm sick of, like, people not hearing us, and because we have got such a small voice compared to a lot of other people around the world, but our voice is loud and strong. But I can also sit there and say that we've also become, one moment please,
Good,
we've also become very united in this, which is an absolute wonderful, because sometimes, like I was saying in my live this morning, we need the sun and the moon. So the thing is that sometimes the darkness shows us the light. And that's it for me. There you go, Patrick. You can have your thing back now.
My bad. Listen. My indigenous homies told y'all about y'all res aunties. They said y'all be getting real spicy. Y'all be getting real tough. And I want no problems. I don't want no smoke. So I want no smoke. I don't want no problems. So I'm gonna say this to Miss Jones. You can't apologize for the actions of another human being. You can't sit here and speak up for the actions of another human being. But what I do ask is for reinsurance, if that's fair, to Miss Witchy Twitchy. She just lost her uncle. I'm sorry, not her uncle, her grandpappy.
His grandfather.
Right? And she's been tagged and harassed like crazy in these comments the past 2 days. Again, I know you can't apologize for your man. You can't apologize for the actions of another human being.
But I'm the only person on this app that has a direct line to him. So I'm the person who's able to express how important it is to do that.
Witchy, because this will be screen recorded and sent to her. I just want to make sure that everyone knows that she's thought about, that she's okay, that people are praying for her and her family, that no one else, hopefully, bothers the hell out of her after this again. Give Witchy Twitchy her peace, please. I know what it's like to lose an elder. I lost my grandmother last summer to diabetes. My grandmother was my second mom. She was basically my dad. She taught me how to do a lot of shit that I'm not going to teach y'all how to do because, we Haitian up in this motherfucker. But she taught me a lot of shit. She taught me a lot of value. She taught me how to cook certain foods. She taught me how to raise children. She taught me how to take care of kids that my mother couldn't teach me to do. So please, give Witchy Twitchy some insurance. That's all I ask. Miss Jones, that's all I ask, please.
You have my word. You absolutely have my word. This is not going to go unaddressed. It's going to get unpacked completely. It's going to be genuine and it's going to be expeditious. It's not going to take forever. I'm not going to lollygag. I'm not going to be like, oh, we're getting to it. Oh, I swear it's going to happen. You have my word.
Okay, bet. That's all we ask. Because again, we can't. What I learned from this live is that just because somebody's your spouse or your partner, you can't control or tell someone how to move. But you can give reinsurance. Does that make sense, guys? To my res aunties in the box, does that make sense? You can't
Yes,
tell
it
you
does.
doing how to move. Lance is going to do what he do. You get what I'm saying? If Lance don't want to talk to me, that's his prerogative. That's his choice. All you can do is, you know what? Pat wants to have a man-to-man conversation with you in private or in public, whatever you're comfortable with. If he doesn't want to, that's his choice. And I can't make him do something he don't want to do. And that's what you were right about earlier. Again, I was in my feelings and I wanted to smoke. Forgive me. But I'm just saying. You get what I'm saying? Listen, you know I want all the smoke. Y'all know damn well I'm messy as shit and I want all the smoke. Stop it. Y'all know how I get. But I just you know what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted some reassurance for Witchy Twitchy more than anything. Forget about me. Forget about my selfish deeds. Forget about the smoke. Forget about the messiness. Forget about all that shit. I wanted to make sure Witchy Twitchy got her reassurance. I wanted to make sure that Miss Jones learned something from the live. I wanted to make sure the res aunties and all the indigenous folk, you know what I'm saying, got you know, huh?
Mission aunties, res and mission. That's what they're trying to tell you. All the comment section. Res and mission aunties. Mission. Like
my bad. Okay, so what's the difference between res and mission? I'm sorry, I'm dumb.
It's in America and in Canada, I think it is as well. It is known as res aunties. You know, where everyone's they're taken and put onto a reservation, whereas our missions were. And our missions were run by Catholic people as well, or people of the church as well, and put on.
So they okay. So shout out to the mission aunties and the res aunties. So the mission aunties is on the other side of the globe.
Yeah.
Shout out to the res aunties on this side of the globe. Shout out to all the aunties.
Yeah, and they have reserves as well.
Yes, absolutely. So shout out to everybody. What I'm going to do is, Miss Jones, you're not done yet. I said what I said. I'm going to sit here and add more indigenous voices in here. Auntie, I don't want to mispronounce it.
Bello Jinda. Bello Jinda. Bello is like part of my surname, and Jinda is like sister.
So Bello Jinda.
Bello Jinda.
Bello Jinda. Okay.
Bello Jinda. Yes, that's it.
Shout out to
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Love you all.
Was a fan favorite.
I'll talk to you soon, Marion.
No worries. I just wanted to quickly say that we need to be mindful with not trying to bring Lance into this live. He has some healing to do after this particular issue. We all need to have some healing to do. It's important that we all take that healing journey by ourselves. So we need to be respectful of other people's spaces.
Bet.
Please.
You got it, Queen Itty Bitty. Shout out to you, sis. Follow me. Everybody that was just in this live, follow me, please. Thank you. Shout out to you, sis. All right, let me add. So before I add anybody in here, Miss Jones, I guess, is seeing the light. So please come in respectful when you speak to her, Blackbird. Respectfully, please come in here.
Or not, because Pat, the reason why I came in.
I don't want.
Hold on.
I'm not letting anybody come here and disrespect Black women.
I'm not usually one to interject, but let me just get this thing, because there's people who were here in the beginning, that the reason why I came on in the first place was because folks were speaking out and talking to me and talking to Lance, and neither of us were here. And so you can come and be respectful, but I feel like sometimes the catharsis, the thing that you need for the healing is to get this yelling out, and I can take that. And if that's what you need, like, I'm not gonna turn into a victim because I caused harm.
All right.
And make it about me. So if someone comes in here and they're like, yeah, all that was all sweet and everything, but I got some shit to say to you, then you do that.
Yes, man. All right.